Hello, welcome to Weekly Recap. I am your host Vivian Kabono, and this is the show that brings you a recap of what has been happening locally and internationally in this week. This show is brought to you by NewsunplugKE. Kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment. Stay tuned. I hope your week was good, and so was mine, and I really hope that you were staying home. I was just staying warm, especially in this weather. Well, earlier on, the government said that there will be El Nino. And then there was kulikuwa na jua 24/7. So people were like, are you sure there will be El Nino really? And the government announced that there will be no El Nino. Now, sasa saizi, people are being carried away by floods. So I hope you're staying warm, and Mungu, I hope that God will give us showers of blessings and mvua ya baraka ama vipi. Now, today I want to talk about what has been happening, the weekly recap of what has been happening. And on our first news, so 4 suspects of a fake gold deal have been arrested. Now, these 4 suspects from Kenya, of course, were arrested after luring a couple from Uganda. So it was an Australian man and his wife, who is a Ugandan. So they lured them to come into Nairobi for a gold deal, which backfired, of course. So they were to meet in Village Market in Gigiri, Nairobi. And the couple traveled, wakafika salama, expecting that the deal will go well. And when they arrived, instead of giving them the gold as they had promised, they took them to an apartment in Runda. And when they reached at Runda, they assaulted them, they handcuffed them, and they even tried to rape the woman, the couple, the Ugandan wife. Thank God nothing bad happened. But of course, the Australian man was very, very traumatized. Because can you imagine seeing your wife, like, wakiwa karibu ku rape your wife? It was traumatizing enough, and you came with high hopes of getting this lucrative deal, and it backfires right on your face. Now, the suspects made away with $60,000, which is 9 million cash, or around 9 million cash, and jewelry worth $30,000, which is around 4.5 million cash. Kenyan shillings. So you can imagine they made a good deal out of it. But why would you hurt people to enrich yourself? As much as it is very good money, hii ni kama pesa ya wash jamani. Unatesa watu wengine ili wewe uweze kusaidika. So thanks God, they were actually arrested. 3 were arrested in Lavington, kwa hoteli, in a hotel in Lavington, and 1 was found in that office in Runda. And the police also confiscated some money counting machines, metallic boxes, a lot of things in that room. And I'm glad that they were found, and the police, the DCIs are still on the search for the other accomplices, because I don't think they pulled out this whole thing alone, the 4 suspects. So I really hope that justice will be found. And like the Australian man and the Ugandan one, the Ugandan woman, what message will they spread to their people back home? We came to Kenya and we were robbed of our money. So I really hope that we should not do this. And dear viewer, what do you think? What do you think? Should you, as much as it is easy money, should you really go and do such kind of thing, like because it's conning? What do you feel about conning? Have you been conned to start with? Have you ever been conned? Tell us. Comment down there and tell us how was your experience and what should be done to curb conning, because this is an Australian man. This person is definitely intelligent. So I don't know how they pulled out that act, but I hope all will be well. Moving on to our next story. There is a man escaped being jailed for a very long time after he killed the wife. We know very well that when you kill a person, when you're charged with murder, it's either death sentence, which nowadays does not happen as such, or you will be charged with, or you will be given a long-term jail term in the courts, by the court, that is. So Joab Osiako killed the wife in in 2018. So August 18th, August 2018. It was just a good day as normal, and Leah Penda was the wife. So this is what happened. Leah Penda asked the husband, Joab, to give her rent money. And the husband gave her pesa zenye, the money was not what she expected. It was less than what she expected. So Leah got mad, and she like akakasirika sana. And later in the evening, she confronted the husband. And the husband got angry with the exchanging of words and everything. So he decided, let me go to bed. And when he was sleeping, Leah decided, what? Wewe hunijui. You do not know me. You will know me today. So she took a piece of wood that was in the house and went to the bedroom, started hitting the husband. So on the second blow, Joab got very angry. He got up, hit with the same piece of wood. After a very short struggle, he got the piece of wood from the wife, and she hit the wife with that piece of wood. So unfortunately, he hit her on the head. And the wife fell down, and she thought, okay, Simesha. So he took off. He went to a lodging because he was mad. He packed, went to a lodging, and spent the night there. In the morning, as normal, he tayarishad himself. He prepared himself and went to job. And after kwenda kazi, on his way back, he passed via the place where his wife usually worked, but he didn't find his wife. So he was alarmed, and he hurriedly went home to check on his wife and know why she didn't go to job. On arriving at home, he found that the wife was still on the spot where he left her. And he realized that she was dead. Okay? So he panicked, he got shocked, and according to him, he went to a bar and spent the night there out of shock. And the following day, he went to his, the incident happened around 15th. So the same month, 2 days after, he went to his sister's home and found his brother-in-law Stephen. So he explained himself. And and the following day, the brother convinced him, why don't you go to the police and tell them that I killed my wife? Probably I didn't want to, but it happened. Why don't you go to the police? And he was not very adamant with it, like he was not ready to do that. And back at home, the neighbors were concerned. Where is Leah? We have not seen her in a minute. Where is she at? And when they looked at the house around 4 p.m., they found her body on the floor. So they reached out to the chief, who reached out to the police, and the first suspect, of course, was the husband. And now also the brother-in-law, that is Joab's brother-in-law, called the police and informed them that the brother-in-law killed the wife. So the police started to search for him, and Joab was not very okay with that. He still wasn't very okay with him being arrested and everything. So he fled to Lugulu, where the DCI caught him. And the post-mortem showed that Leah died out of some trauma on the brain caused by a blunt object because of the assault that happened to her. And of course, Joab was guilty. So Joab was taken to court for like 2, and he was in remand for 5 years. And when finally, on September 2023, he pleaded with the court to give him an uncustodian, like wasimfunge sana, wasimpe a long-term jail term. So the magistrate, when they were giving out when they now wakitatua hiyo kesi, they said that he was supposed to be given 2 years because he was minding his own business. It was the wife who attacked him, and he was given 5 years in prison. To make it, now this is where the matter is funny, or this is where the matter is at. So Joab had stayed 5 years in custody, waiting for his case to be finalized. And the judge said, now that you have spent 5 years, because he was supposed to spend 2 years in jail, starting from 31st October. And the judge said, now that you had already spent 5 years in jail, it's okay. You're free to go. Because now your jail term, you already served your jail term, so you're free to go. And if the family was remorseful. Like you've shown that you were remorseful about it, and you showed that you were shocked about killing your wife. So those 5 years will be okay with you, and the family will at least be okay with, will be at peace with the death of the daughter. So that's what happened, and Joab is free after killing the wife. It doesn't happen as such, but at least he was, by the way, he was a first time offender, and the family depended on him. So probably the judge looked at it and was like, okay, it's okay, there's no problem, you're free to go. All the best for him. Do you think that it was right? Like just letting him go? On my side, I think that you should not poke a bear. Of course, may she continue resting in peace, Leah, but we women should be we should be very careful not to poke a bear, because sometimes tunaambiwa mwiba wa kujidunga hauna pole, ila wakati mwingine una pole. But what do you think? Mwiba wa kujidunga una pole ama una pole? Moving on to our next story, Alika Dila has been evading 2.5 million tax. So Nicholas Onjohi, just like his name suggests, deals with alcohol, and he was having 600 cartons of liquor branded differently. There was whiskey, there was brandy, there was vodka, and he was caught along the Thika Garissa highway. And the police caught him, and he was having fake stamps. So that's what actually brought shed light on what is happening here. There must be something that is happening. Why are you having fake stamps? So that means that he had not been paying the tax for the longest time, and now it is according to the exercise duty law, he was in the wrong, and the police are in such are into the matter. And actually, Matu, he's called Nicholas Matu, So Nicholas Onjohe Matu, he was asked by the court to go into the court and talk to them and listen to the case, but he did not show up. So the court was like, why didn't you show up? So that even made the case worse, because when you are summoned by the court, you're supposed to be there at that time, and you're supposed to be present, listen to what will happen, and look for a good lawyer, and a lawyer might even help you not to really be convicted or something. Like, you might be found innocent. Not that Nicholas did not show up to the court to listen to his case is what made the case even harder. But now the DCI and the police are into the case, and well, the problem is the tax. Jamani, the tax, you can imagine. It's gonna be tough for him, but if you're going to do business, make sure that you instead of to prevent yourself from having these issues in the future, you better just pay your taxes and do what is right with the law. As much as you might feel a pinch, you better be on the right, because you don't want this headache to start disturbing you in the future. Okay, we will go for a short commercial break, and we will be right back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you a lot for staying tuned. I hope by this time you have subscribed, you have liked, you have shared, and please turn on the notification bell to know when we News Unplug post any video. Moving on, there was in Kitui County, so there is a chief who was shot by a drug dealer after he confiscated the drug. So Simon Zio, so the chief in Miambani sublocation, Miambani location in Kitui, who is Mutoka Kilonzo, went to Simon Zio's. Simon Zio is a drug dealer. He's a peddler of marijuana or bhang. So he went. People informed the chief that Zio has been trafficking and has been selling the bhang to young people around the area. So the chief, of course, went to the place, went to his home, to Nzio's home with the assistant sub-chief, and they confiscated 50 kg of bhang. Now, Simon made to alipotea. Simon fled, and he came back with his brother. with a bow, an arm, and a machete. A bow, like with a bow and arrows and a machete, and shot the chief on the arm and the leg. Can you imagine? So the chief was even confused. Can you imagine? You have come to do your work, but somebody has shot you on the arm and the leg. And he flew. So people do not know where Nzio went, but it is very evident that do not, when you try to mess around with these drug traffickers, be very important, be very careful, be very careful, because now the chief was shot, Jamani. But why did Nzio decide to shoot the chief? Okay, it was not even defensive or something, because the drugs had already been confiscated, and even if you shot the chief, there's still the assistant chief, but luckily the chief was not like hurt as such. He was not shot on important places or important body parts, like vital body parts. So he went to the hospital and he's getting treatment. But Nzio just made it worse for him. First of all, he's already on the wrong side of the law because he has been trafficking. Now he decided to shoot a government official. So he just made the case worse for him. But it seems like, do you think this thing should be legalized already? Because also there was a church over this week. A church was found with a lot of bhang, and like the bhang was in church. And as they are saying, when you want to commit a crime, do something that, like, do it in a place which is least expected. So the bhang, which was million, actually it was around 6 million worth bhang in a church. And I wonder who blew this whistle, the whistleblower, how the person knew about the information that there was bhang in the church. But Kenyans are just Kenyans. And Kenyans were cracking a joke and saying that in that church, the song, this song, higher, 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 higher. So it seems like it must have been the favorite song in that church, because, of course, there is bhang in the church. Was the pastor getting high or something? I do not know. But should drug be legalized, or should we have measures to work with this? I mean, like, why are there a lot of cases? Remember by the other time, Martha Wangara, who has been popular. In fact, allegedly, she was even in the Google Maps. If you search Martha Wangara Tampata. So what's up with this issue of drugs and bhang and traffickers? I don't know. The government should guide us on how to go about it. On into international news. So King Charles and Queen Camilla, the royal couple, have been in Kenya for the past 4 days. I think they finished their tour yesterday, and we even covered the story last week. I hope you've checked it out. And the Queen and they arrived on Tuesday morning, and they walipokewa kwa moyo mkunjufu, ama walipokewa kwa mikono yote by the President Ruto at Nairobi, and they have been touring. And what Kenyans needed to know most importantly was how the king will address the issue of the colonial era, which lasted for around 100 years, and the people that we lost in this era. And this brought a lot of controversial discussions, because we know British colonized us, and we expected the king to really talk about this. But which I don't know what's your view? Do you think the king was supposed to apologize, which he did, by the way? He was very apologetic about it. Or should we be grateful that we were colonized? Look at it. Look at the coin on different sides. Look at the different sides of the coin. So first of all, the king was not even in the monarch when we were being colonized. And people were asking, so why are we expecting the king to apologize, and he's not the one who did the thing? Food for thought, okay? Food for thought. Also, there was a video that was trending when a British man made a video and said that we Kenyans the king should not apologize to us because he gave us English. That's sarcastic, right? What do you mean you gave us English? So he was saying that if we were not colonized, Kenya could not be where it is as per now. And compared to South Africa is way above us in economic and everything, in development, because they were colonized for a longer period. So the question is, it is true, we cannot refuse, it is true that you came and helped us, but we Africans, we Kenyans, we were still operating, we were still communicating even without English. Right? We were still talking without English. We still had trade without English. We still had our own way of doing things without you people colonizing us. Okay? But, I mean, it is true that you helped us. But was it worth what we went through? Was it worth our Mau Mau people dying for us to get this? You know, if we knew that we were going to get technology and education and this English of yours, by losing our people, probably could not have accepted it, but it's okay. Maji yashamwagika hayawezi zoleka, and the king was apologetic about it. But anyway, the king was also he toured different places. He toured a new museum, the tomb of an unknown warrior, and he even went to the place where Kenya, the Mugumo tree, where Kenya got its independence, and he even went to court. And jamani, the marine people walionyesha yani jamani alitumbuizwa jamani kule coast hapo tu kwa beach, on the beach, the marine location, the marine facility. Those marine people, they really shown what they have been trained, and it was beautiful. But now, can you imagine in huko kwa msitu huko in the world, there was a red carpet for the king kwa msitu in the jungle. So people were wondering, did we overly, were we what's the right word for it, like did we go an extent in welcoming the king? Like did we treat this person as if he was a god or something? Like, were we anticipating too much? But then we Kenyans know where to scratch. Tunajua mahali pakugusa pakulamba. So that we can get what we have. But okay, I don't know. Anyway, the trip iliisha and he was treated well, and also people were asking, hey Jamani, did you see the hairstyle that Rachel was rocking with? I love short hair, and she was looking beautiful, by the way. And big up, at least the king visited, and we at least we're being recognized, right? We are being recognized. But that man who said that he sold us English, as much as it is the language that we're speaking right now, Jamani, you didn't have to shout. You didn't have to shout. You didn't have to say it so bluntly or so sarcastically. Moving on to our last story of the day. So the AI, artificial intelligence. So the vice president of US, Harris, said that the AI should be we should train very carefully with the AI to make sure that it doesn't hurt us in future. Now, speaking on Wednesday, she said that this AI, artificial intelligence, for once, we humans are creating something that will be more intelligent than us. And if you're not very careful, this AI, this artificial intelligence, might come to hurt us in future. Artificial intelligence has been very helpful, especially in the medical world, especially in the military world. In the military, almost every kind of form. Right now, if you pick your phone, there's just an artificial intelligence thing that will work. You know, we're just operating with artificial intelligence everywhere. You don't have, they even, remember they produced Samantha sometime back. Where did Samantha go to? And was it Elon Musk? Which billionaire? I cannot remember. But right now, even people can create their wives. Can you imagine that? So, first of all, Joe Biden said that artificial intelligence is something very good because it is helping the people. It is making things easier. But then we have to be very careful because artificial intelligence, this thing is very intelligent. You know, it is intelligent than us. And if you're not to control it, it might take over us. You know, because this is something that if you cannot control it, everything is created by the creator, you know. But if, like, for example, let me use the biblical way. God created us humans. But it reached to a point where humans were just out of hand, you know. And during the Noah time, he even had to demolish everybody. Like, he had to he had to owe everybody, you know, because people were becoming too much. So will artificial intelligence be too much for us to in future? In fact, Elon Musk was among the people, or was among the over 300,000 people who signed to make sure that the artificial intelligence facilities pause to train for around 6 months to know what's the step. What's the step forward? Actually, Elon Musk plans to have an artificial intelligence company in future, but we have to be careful to know if we're going to produce this, how will we curb it? It is just like how COVID-19 was produced allegedly. They produced a virus and it was released to the world without having a cure for it. So before we produce these things, before we create these things, we have to be very careful. How will we handle the situation if it gets out of hand? And how will we, because we have to control this artificial intelligence. Right now, like, especially in the military world, look at the nuclear bombs. It is something that can destroy millions of people within a minute, within a second, in fact. So what about artificial intelligence? What about if things we have already discovered are this fatal? What about things we have not yet discovered? So I hope all will be well, and I hope that artificial intelligence is very good, very important, but we should tread very carefully and make sure that it doesn't harm us in future. Thank you so much. And also over the week, about the tax and the help, the government should really look into the students. Comrades power. Over this week, there was some chaos, especially in the Machakos University, and some students were even detained because of the strike that happened there. Kisii University, the situation was the same. Like, university students are complaining a lot because, first of all, the government said that students that there is a formal system that will be followed to give funds to students. They should apply first, and also the help has not yet been released, and some of the students are depending on their parents who have no means of earning. So what's the future? These are our leaders of tomorrow, Jamani. Like, studying by itself is stressful. So what about studying kama huna pesa? It will be so hard. So I really hope that the government will look, Jamani, comrades, sauti ya comrades, Jamani. Government, please look into the issue and make sure that the help has been dispersed so that the students can learn well, because we are almost in December and exams, it's almost the exam period. So kama hujalipa, registering the units, doing the exams will be hard, and deferring makes it even harder for you. So I just hope that it will be checked into. But if you're a comrade, or if you are going through tough times, just buckle up a little more. All will be well. All will be well. Thank you a lot for staying tuned. I am your host, Vivian Kabono, and please subscribe, like, share, and comment. You can follow us across all social media platforms at NewsunplugKE, and also you can follow me across all social media platforms as well at ViviCabs. Do have a nice time. Thank you.